I'm Coach Kane from Straight Blast Gym, Portland, Oregon. This is Assistant Coach Ella. Today I want to look at 3 distinct pressures from De La Riva guard. So a way of breaking down the De La Riva into usable pieces that'll work for most anybody. So I'll quick run through the 3 pressures that we're going to use. Pressure number 1, pressure number 2, pressure number 2, and this is simple pressure number 3. Okay, going somewhere out. Let's do it from this angle. Square up. Okay, so I'm going to start working through that, and we'll start by breaking down that first pressure, pressure number 1, into a few simple usable pieces. Hi, I'm Coach Kane from Straight Blast Gym, Portland, Oregon. This is Assistant Coach Ella. We're going to look at De La Riva guard bottom, and I want to look at some ways of applying pressure with your legs. So here's the first one we're going to look at. Here. Just come straight on. Yeah, and 1 foot forward. Yeah, so one of the places that De La Riva happens is when somebody approaches you like this and they place one leg forward, that's a good time to apply De La Riva wrap like this. And so I'm just going to entangle my leg into her thigh here and then apply a little bit of lifting pressure. And then with this hand, I'm going to grab as low as I can on her heel. So we're going to switch sides, so you can see the grab on the heel. Forward. Yeah, and so I'm grabbing as low as I can here. I'm going to entangle, and I'm going to apply my arm here like this. So there's my first position. What I need to do in order to apply pressure is I need to make this leg light. In order to do that, I need to shift her weight from this leg to 100% on this back leg. The way to do that is just to kick this other leg out. And as soon as I kick this leg out like that, see how all of her weight shifted to it? Then I'm going to take this hip off the mat and then connect the foot to my hip, like that. And so this connection is pressure number 1 from De La Riva. So I'm going to do that again. Wrap, make it light, and then lift. Wrap, make it light, and then lift. It's important that when you grab low. If you grab up here on the ankle, then her foot can turn. If you grab low here on the heel, then if she tries to turn into me, yeah, it's going to be harder for her to do because her foot won't be able to pick. And so the lower you grab, the better. And so that's your first initial pressure from De La Riva guard. And so the second pressure happens when I can't make that near leg light. So let's take a look at that. So maybe I kick that out a little bit, but for some reason I can't bring it up because this leg is just too heavy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this leg and make it a pry bar. And so I'm going to lift my hip up in the air, bring this through as far as I can, and then this leg I'm going to make it straight like that. And you can see already when I make it straight and then drop my hip to the mat, she's presenting her back already, and then look at her posture's all jacked up. It's important that this leg is straight and not bent. So let's look at that again. Grab low, wrap, kick that leg out, and then if I'm having trouble, I'm going to lift my hip, extend that leg fully straight, and then drop my hip to the mat, like that. Notice when I drop my hip to the mat, I'm facing the ceiling and not here. If I do this, I'm going to have a little bit better pressure with that pry bar. This leg has to stay straight. A lot of good jiu-jitsu can happen off of here. One more time. Right there. All right, that's number 2. And then the third one is what happens generally when you get a De La Riva grip and then the top person squares up, which is a really common defense to De La Riva, and it's what a lot of good jiu-jitsu players will do. So watch what happens. She's going to present me with the leg. I'm going to wrap my De La Riva, and then she's going to square up. Yes, right there. That's what you'll get. And so when that happens, I'm going to keep my De La Riva hook, grab some cloth, and then generally I like to put this other foot in the hip because it's going to help. And I'm just going to pull her over my head with the lifting throw. And so I got my De La Riva. She squares up. Grab, foot, go. She squares up. Grab, foot, go. Like that. And so, to me, if you're going to have a basic De La Riva game, those are the 3 pressures that you need. Everything else has to do with how to attach with the arms, which I'm going to look at in a couple of 3 separate videos. So the next series of videos you're going to see have to do with how do you grab the arms to help provide really good tipping pressure from De La Riva. Hi, I'm Coach Kane from Straight Blast Gym, Portland, Oregon. This is Assistant Coach Ella. We're going to look at how to grab the arms with the De La Riva guard, and then how to apply pressure once you have the gripping. When you have the De La Riva, you're either going to get the near sleeve or the far sleeve. And depending on which sleeve you get, you're going to have to, your pressure and your attachment is going to be a little bit different. Initially, we're going to work with what happens if I get the far sleeve. When you get the far sleeve, one of the things that's really interesting, let's back up a little bit, is that now, because I have this grip, if I put my foot on her leg, she doesn't have the ability to remove it. If she tries to remove it with the other hand, it's just not going to work. And so far grip means kick far leg because she can't do anything about it. So I should be able to kick that leg out with impunity at that point, and then she can't do anything about it. And then now, turn and then apply that pressure. So what that means for me is if I get the far arm here, I'm always kicking that leg out, and then I'm going to turn, apply pressure. Let's see, reverse angle. Yeah, got the far arm, kick that out, and then turn here. That's going to work really well if you get the far arm. The next one we're going to look at is what to do if you get the near arm, because it's going to be different. So if I get the near arm and I put my foot on the leg here, she has that arm to defend with, so now she can own my leg. Yeah, maybe grab cloth there and then stuff it. Yeah, now she's got that leg stuffed. Keep it gripped. And I can't do anything with that leg anymore. And so if I got the near arm, touching this leg is going to be a problem because she has access to it with this arm. And so I want to apply pressure with it, but I have to stay away from this side of her body. So when I got this arm, a couple of good places to put this leg are here on the near hip. And when I do that and she tries to take it off, she can't take it off. Or in the armpit. And if she tries to take it off, she can't take it off. So let's look at reverse angle. So I got my De La Riva wrap. I'll place this here on the hip, and she won't be able to remove it because she doesn't have the correct arm to remove it. Or I come up in the armpit here with it, and she can't remove it because she doesn't have the correct arm to remove it. And so that's really a nice thing to know. And then so let's look at applying pressure from here. So I got that reverse, I got the grip, De La Riva hook, and the near arm. I'm going to step on the hip, and I'm going to use this to lift my hip in the air, get my leg in, make it straight, and then turn like that. And you can see now she's in a really good position for some sort of a sweep or tipping motion. Near side, De La Riva, step on the hip, my hip in the air, weave my leg through and make it straight like that, and now she's in a tipping. And so she'll go in multiple different ways. Her posture is so broken, and then her posting hand is gone, that there's a bunch of different ways the sweep can go. And so near arm versus far arm, again, if I get the near arm, side. I'll switch positions. If I get the far arm, my foot goes to the far side. That's really all you have to remember with grips. Now with the De La Riva guard, you're probably not going to get to decide which of those grips you get. It's really the decision's going to be made by the top person when they start grabbing and reaching. And so you'll just have to take whichever one you get. And as long as you have some idea about where to put your other foot, based on which of the grips you get, then you're going to be in pretty good shape. And so to me, that's the two basic pressures that I would use from De La Riva guard, and then how I would apply gripping strategies to that. The third one is when somebody squares up, and I'm going to do a separate video on the square up because I want to show some details about a few different things that can happen, some scenarios there that may help you, because that's a really common defense when you get a De La Riva hook is person turns in and squares up. So we'll do that in the next video. Thank you. Hi, I'm Coach Kane from Straight Blast Gym, Portland, Oregon. This is Assistant Coach Ella. We're looking at the De La Riva guard, and I want to work some scenarios when you get the De La Riva hook and the top person turns and squares up. So let's take a look at that scenario. Let's angle a little bit this way. And so I'm going to work without any grips for now. So I got my hook in, and then Ella squares up. If she squares up and stays tall, it's the easiest to deal with. My hook is still in. My other foot will attach to the hip here, and then I just grab cloth and then pull her up and over, and then there's a really nice overhead sweep there. That's going to be pretty easy to deal with. And so if when she squares up, there's enough space for my foot to come here, that's great. I can deal with that. Of course, you always have, you can remove your feet out and do simple sweeps and stuff like that. I don't want to address that. I want to address stuff you can do while keeping the De La Riva hook in. And so that's a nice one. That's pretty easy. A lot of times, though, what will happen is you get your De La Riva hook here. The person will square up and then squat. There. That's a problem because I can't get my foot in here, and then I won't have the ability to throw her because she's lowered her center of gravity. So without Ella, I'm going to describe some nice stuff that you can do to keep the pressure off and to keep them from getting an easy guard pass from there. So if I have the De La Riva hook and the person squares up and squats, what I like to do that's posturally really strong is I will take this leg and stack them, and then I'll squeeze my knees together like that. And so stacking and then squeeze the knees together, and you're going to see what that's going to do for me. It's going to prevent the knee overpass, and it's going to put me in a really strong position so I can keep her out and then protect myself in that position. So De La Riva guard here, she squares up, and then she squares up and then starts to squat. Yeah, I'm going to stack my legs here and then squeeze my knees together like that. And that way, if she tries to come over with a knee slide pass, she's going to find that path blocked because my knees are squeezed together here, and she's not going to be able to get in pretty easy. I want to be careful that when she squares up, that I don't get caught with this leg outside because it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. And so when she squares up, I withdraw this leg and then tuck it under like that, squeeze my knees, and then turn my hip a little bit to face her like this, and then grab on so she can't posture back up. Now if she tries to posture back up, I got her like this. So I'm kind of locking her into this position. De La Riva, she squares up and squats. I'm going to turn my hip, grab the cloth like this, and I'll show you some stuff to do with this hand in a minute. Squeeze my knees together around her knee, and then hold this tight. And so let's look at a reverse angle. Like that. De La Riva hook, she squares up and squats. There's the stack. There's the knee squeeze. And you can see where her foot is relative to my backside, which is the normal De La Riva position. Now watch what's gonna happen. See how I put her foot right in the center of my backside? That's where I want it now, now that she's squared up. And so that little key detail is gonna be kind of important there to help keep you safe. So I scooted my hip over so that her ankle or foot is right between my butt cheeks. And then I'm going to hold on to her cloth right here. And that's gonna be a really nice position to keep me safe. With this hand, if I wanna add in, and I do, I'm gonna do kind of a reverse De La Riva grip, and I can come in and grab the ankle right here, like that. And then once I have that, that's a really nice position. If she gives me some strong forward pressure, like she wants the knee slide, she's gonna go up and over with that. Like that. Most of the time people won't, because it feels so tippy when they get to that spot that their intent at that point is to back up and get out, because it doesn't feel like a path forward for them. And then that'll get you right back into De La Riva. So let's see how that looks. De La Riva, she stacks. I get this position here. Yeah, and she feels that. She tries testing coming forward a little bit, and it feels really tippy, so she's like, I want to get the hell out. And so she backs her way out. Yeah, and now I'm back in De La Riva again. And so it's a way to force the game back to De La Riva when you cross up, squeeze your knees together, pull in, move your hip, grab the foot and the collar, you're in a really nice spot. If they come too far forward, they're going to get tipped, in which case what you're going to find is that most people at that point are going to want to get back out, and they put you right back in the De La Riva game. So I like that position for that reason, because it sets you up in a really nice spot just to go right back to the De La Riva. So let's look again. Like that. She doesn't like it, so she's going to get out. Yep. And I'm right back in the De La Riva. And find a sweep. So I'm going to quick review then all three of the different sweepy energies from De La Riva, and that'll be the end of this series. Forearm grip. Kick out the back leg and turn. Near arm grip. Step on the hip or the armpit. Snake the leg through, make it straight. Yep. And sweep. And then lastly, doesn't matter, near our forearm grip, she squares up and squats. There. Get that shin right in the center of your backside. Grab the collar, grab the foot, squeeze your knees together, and apply forward pressure, which either will make her throw or sweep, or she'll start working to fight her way back out. When she does, then I go back in. That's it. That's a basic primer to some De La Riva stuff that almost anybody can do. If you have those three things in your game and you practice that a lot, then you can go back and look at all the cool De La Riva stuff that everybody teaches, and it'll start to fit in, and you'll find out how it works. And so this is probably all I would ever teach personally of De La Riva. And then the other stuff people can pack in and add on their own on the top of it, because it's easy to do once you have these three basic pressures and some understanding of how the gripping works. All right, thanks for watching.